Are you taking the SAT in a few months, and are you trying to figure out what's the best way to plan out your study schedule for the test to achieve the score which you need for your top universities? So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about my 8-week study plan to prepare for the SAT. Let's get into it right now. Now let's start off with the time frame. Is 8 weeks enough time to study for the SAT? Now I believe 8 weeks is an optimal amount of time for a study plan towards the SAT if you have a basic knowledge of the concepts tested on the test. If you haven't studied any of the math or English tested on the test during high school, then I suggest taking a longer time to prepare for the test. Around 12 to 16 weeks would be optimal. Now you could prepare for the SAT for a longer or a shorter period of time, but what matters is your study plan and the resources you use to study for the test. Now let's talk about the material you require for your SAT preparation. Now the first thing you will need is a basic SAT prep guide. Now I am a huge fan of the Princeton Review and I'm a huge fan of their books as well. Thus my first recommendation would be the Princeton Review Guide to the SAT. It covers all of the basic concepts tested on the test, and it also has 8 practice tests which you can do at any time. Now many people talk about the College Board Guide to the SAT, but I do not recommend this as it has very little theory and a lot of practice tests. Now all of these practice tests are available for free on the Khan Academy website. Now you could also use the Barron SAT Study Guide and also in-depth books like Erica Meltzer or the College Panda, but these are for much higher scores in the SAT and you must only order them after you extinguish your main SAT Study Guide and Khan Academy. There are also a lot of free resources online like Erica Meltzer's blog, The Critical Reader, and I also recommend Super Tutor TV as her videos are really good. Now I have used the Khan Academy SAT free prep course and it is one of the best practice materials you will find anywhere, both paid and unpaid. So now let's get into what you need to do in each week of your SAT preparation. Now the first week. Now the very first thing I want you to do on the first day is to get a basic understanding of the test. Read through the test directions and the timings to get a basic idea of all of the sections of the test as well as about the complete time frame of the test. This is the base of your SAT preparation. Now from day 1 to day 5, again you should try to completely go through your SAT prep guide or at least through the theory portion of the SAT prep guide. Now you don't have to finish all of the practice tests in the book in this week, as all you're trying to do right now is to get a base level of understanding of the concepts on the test. And you could also refresh your memory on concepts that you had learned all through high school. Now on day 6, what you need to do is a practice test. I recommend using Khan Academy for this step as they will completely score your test as well as tell you what answers you got wrong. So after completing your test on day 6, on to day 7, what you need to do is completely go through your test and analyze it. Now go through both the questions you got right and the questions you got wrong. I suggest using a notebook to write down all of the questions you got wrong and write down both why you think you got it wrong and what the correct answer is. This will be your base for your thorough understanding of all the types of questions on the SAT. Now the second week. This week is mostly about plugging all of the gaps in your understanding of the test. Now since you finished the practice test at the end of the last week, the first day of this week is going to be focused on going through your SAT study guide and marking all of the places where you made mistakes on the test. With that done, you would also maybe want to go through your test again to figure out if there are any other wrong answers that you forgot to highlight and mark them as well in your SAT prep guide. Now on days 2 to day 5 of the second week, you are going to completely go through the SAT prep guide through all of the concepts that you missed on the first test. Now go through each concept or section multiple times to get a strong grasp on the concept being asked or on the type of the question being asked. Now at the end of the week, on the 6th day, you could take another practice test via Khan Academy, and on the 7th day, you should review the test again and analyze your mistakes. Figure out what you got right and what you got wrong and go through the process of writing down all of your wrong answers and your mistakes in your notebook. This is the end of your second week. The third week is going to be a little different. The first thing you need to do is again go through your SAT study guide and mark all of the places where you made mistakes on the test. Now on days 2 and 3 of the third week, I want you to go through all of the concepts and sections which you made mistakes on the last two tests, so that you have a solid understanding of all the concepts and on the type of the questions that you made mistakes on the test. On days 4 and day 5, I want you to go through math formula sheets as well as writing and language sheets. I also recommend going through grammar rule sheets for the SAT, as all of these will help you get a strong understanding of all the basics and all of the concepts tested on the test. I'll also put a link to that in the description down below. Now on day 6 and day 7, you need to go through the same process as the last 2 weeks. Writing a test via Khan Academy in the scheduled time and completely analyzing it on the next day. Going through all of both your correct answers and your wrong answers and figuring out why you made those mistakes. And write them down in the notebook, obviously. So let's go on to the next week. Now the fourth week is all about practice. Finish all of the practice questions under your SAT guide and at the same time work on Khan Academy practice as well. Try to get a skill level of 3 on all of the sections on Khan Academy. Again, it's even better if you get a skill level of 4 on as many as you can. Now work on a one practice test at the end of the week and review and analyze all of your questions which you got wrong and the questions you got right as well on the test. Now the fifth week is one of the most important weeks of them all. Now the fifth week is very important as you're going to be focusing on the evidence-based reading and writing section of the test. Now the first thing you need to do is go through all of your writing and language rules and your grammar rules a few times so that everything is as thorough as possible. But more importantly, you need to focus on reading during this time. Now go through all of the reading passages on 4 practice tests in your study guide. Now go through them completely and make sure to focus completely while doing them as well. One thing to note is that it's okay if you're not able to finish them in the allotted time. You can go over the time limit by maybe 5 or 10 minutes as well if it gives you more accuracy on the test. Do this on days 2, 3, 4 and 5, one test's worth of practice questions on each day, and on day 6 again review all of the questions. Now on day 7 this will be a little difficult, but try to finish a complete practice test via Khan Academy and also review it on the same day, completely going through all of the questions you both got right and on the questions you got wrong again. So just to recap, on day 1 go through all of the writing rules. On day 2, 3, 4 and 5 go through one practice test worth of the reading section on the day. You could also go through the writing section, but more importantly go through the reading section. And on day 6 completely review the reading sections from day 2, 3, 4 and 5. And on day 7 completely go through one full practice test via Khan Academy and analyze it properly as well. Now I have grouped week 6 and week 7 because they are basically the same thing. It's all about reviewing and pacing. Now review all of the wrong answers on all of the practice tests and on the reading tests that you have taken over the past 5 weeks and go through the sections and the concepts in your SAT study guide a few times. It would also help to go through the complete theory of your SAT study guide a few times during these 2 weeks. Now we come to the pacing. Now there are many videos on YouTube how to manage your time during the SAT, and if you want me to make a video on this, comment down below as well. A few good resources to go through are Super Tutor TV and also College Advisor. So once you have gone through all of your previous wrong answer questions and you get a fix on the pacing of the test, at the end of each week, do a test via Khan Academy as well and review it and note down all of your mistakes each week. Also go through all of the grammar rules and the math formulae a few times over these 2 weeks. Now week 8, this is the last week and let's keep the workload light. Now brush up on any problems in math, reading or writing. Now take one SAT practice test somewhere early in the week and review it. Now go through all of your past wrong answers just to brush up on the areas where your preparation was lacking. Also brush up on all the grammar rules, the writing rules and the complete math formulae a day before the test as well as somewhere in the beginning of the week. but don't do much practice and don't really work that hard on the day before the test. Now you're ready for the SAT. The last 8 weeks of preparation have prepared you for these 3 hours of testing. And I'm sure if you follow the complete process, you will get an amazing SAT score. So if you found this video informative, please like and share it. And also for more information and more content on university applications and on standardized tests, subscribe to the channel as well. And also comment below if you have any questions again on the university application process or on standardized tests. I will see you in my next video.
Now let's talk a little bit about Part 99 percentile. Now we are an organization of students who have scored in the 99 percentile on various standardized tests like the SAT, the ACT and the TOEFL. We have also gotten into many of the top universities in the states. Now through Part 99 percentile, we aim to help students from all around the world get into their dream universities by tutoring them on standardized tests as well as helping them with the complete university application process. So right now on our website, we have 2 sections. Firstly, the complete free comprehensive course on the university application process. This is available on the Part 99% blog. Now the second section is the SAT Math one-on-one mentoring, where we have personalized tutoring and live sessions from SAT Math perfect scorers. All of our tutors have scored an 800 on SAT Math. The SAT is a very important part of the complete university application process, and the math section of the SAT is extremely important for most university courses, especially in STEM. We have prepared a series of courses with inbuilt live sessions that will help you prepare for the math section of the SAT and help you get the score that you require for your top choice university. Now all of our tutors are students in universities who have scored 99 percentile scores on the SAT, and all of our math tutors have scored a perfect 800 on SAT Math. We know the complete ins and the outs of the tests, and with just a little bit of work, you could join the 99 percentile club as well. Now let's talk about our courses. We have 3 main courses: the refresher, the beginner and the advanced. The refresher is a 2-week course where we go through all of the basic concepts of the math section of the SAT. The beginner is a 4-week course where we go through all of the core concepts, as well as we have a few practice classes, as well as one complete practice test. Now the advanced course is a complete 6-week course with all of the concepts of SAT Math, as well as practice sessions, as well as 2 complete practice tests. Now under the 6-week course, we will have in-depth question answer based analysis to figure out where you're going wrong and how you can rectify your answers, and how you can kind of plug all of the problems in your concepts. Now each of these courses will have 3 sessions a week of 1 to 1.5 hours depending on your availability, and we will have complete Khan Academy assignments and extra practice questions, all of which we will give you. Now our courses are priced anywhere from 50 to 90% lower than the competition, and we have built the courses in a way where we take the best elements of each rival and compile them into this course. Now thus I believe our courses are the best value that you will find anywhere in the market. So in conclusion, visit part199percentile.com, as this is the only resource you need for your complete university application journey. I have also linked this in the description down below.